Hey everyone. So I had a bad internet connection. So if you caught the little snippet of the first video, I think we got that fixed. So let's try this one again. We are here live for Seasons of Hustle Bootcamp Day 14. We're going to be diving into Seasons of Nurture and Words Matter Part 1. So we're going to be going through the little introductory section that's titled Seasons of Nurture, Summer, and then we're also going to be diving into part of Chapter 9. We'll actually finish Chapter 9 tomorrow, so it's going to be kind of a two-part series for Chapter 9. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today is the seasons of nurture. So the word nurture actually means the process of caring for and encouraging the growth and development of someone or something. So I think after our conversations yesterday about growing leaders, this is just like the perfect time to be diving into this content. We call this season in our book, Seasons of Hustle, summer. So I want you to think about, even in the summer when your crops are in full swing, growing in the garden, the farmer, which is you for your business, are still using their tools for pruning, fertilizing, and even maintaining the shed where you organize your tools. So that's where we're going to kind of focus. We're going to go over the tools that are going to help you in this season, and you have the key to that shed. So we're going to show you how to unlock all the potential that's in there and show you all the tools that are in your entrepreneurial toolbox that you may or may not be aware of. So we're excited to talk about different things such as your story, the power of words, organization, strategy, social media, and incentives. So there's a lot to cover over the next 2 days. So I hope we'll have some fun exploring these ideas and you will walk away with some new things to help you rock your business. So first, why do we need to tell our story? Okay, you've heard us say before, just tell your story. So when we share about Young Living, we're actually representing the company, the products, and its values. So you need to know Young Living's mission, you need to know their vision statement, you need to know Gary Young's story and his vision. So that means that we're going to build our businesses with integrity, and we are going to share something valuable with people. The best tool in your kit is your story. We've said before, facts tell, but stories sell. So every person's story is valuable and unique. Every person's story has value. Your story is going to connect with someone. There's someone out there that needs to hear the power behind your words. Your story doesn't have to play out like a Lifetime or Hallmark movie to have major impact. You just have to tell it. I bet every one of you watching has had at least one aha moment with a Young Living product. If you've had that one moment, then you have a story to share. If you don't have a story yet, I guarantee you a story helped inspire you to try a product. So go ahead and share that person's story and say, when I heard this story, I had to get my kit and I'm excited to explore these. Why don't you learn with me? Okay, it's okay to share other stories, or if you have a story that you know will connect with somebody that you're talking with, share that knowledge with them, share that story. Don't complicate sharing your oils. We're just sharing our lifestyle, our journey through it, and what we do in day-to-day life could be really interesting to some people. What would a sneak peek into your life look like? How many products do you touch on a daily basis? Think about how many contacts you have with Young Living throughout your day. When you're getting ready, when you're taking a shower, when you're putting your makeup on with your Savvy Minerals, your deodorant, your shampoos, your soaps, you're in your kitchen, your laundry detergent. I mean, there's so many things. And we're not even to oils and supplements and Ninja and food. I mean, think about how many touches there is during the day and how many opportunities you have to share stories about those products. So let's go through crafting how to actually tell a story. So when you ask people to share their story, or when I mention this when I'm first training people, I kind of get that look like, I don't really know for sure what you want me to say. So let's break it down into some simple tips to help you craft your story, because part of tonight's homework is going to be for you to actually write out and draft and craft your story. So go through it, write it down, piece it together, rewrite it, really dig into your story. So first question I want you to ask yourself is, where were you? So where were you before Young Living was introduced into your life? Spend some real time drifting back and remember what life was back then. You know, for me, I don't like to think about it, but I have to go there, and I'm crafting my story, okay? Because our life was very dark before Young Living. So we need to be real and relatable. Don't sugarcoat it. You know, if it was not a good time, share that. People want to see your vulnerabilities. They want to know they are not alone. They want to be able to connect with that part of your story. So this is where you're going to connect with that part of their lives where they're like, oh, they struggle with that too, or they did struggle with that, or they don't feel alone in knowing that it's okay to have all these different things in our lives that we need help with. And then I want you to ask yourself the question, what changed? Okay, so obviously Young Living was introduced into your life, but how did you get started? What inspired you to buy your kit? How did you find out about Young Living? Encapsulate that moment for people. Let them know what decisions brought you to Young Living and what made you decide to purchase Young Living. Bring the audience inside your story. Let them experience it with you. Think about the person that shared Young Living with you and how valuable that person is to you because they brought these products into your life. Tell that part of the story. Tell about how you can't imagine if they hadn't told you, and you would be mad at them if they would have kept it a secret, because guess what? Somebody sitting in those seats wants to possibly share, but maybe is afraid to. So just by being vulnerable and sharing that part of your story and letting them know, like, I am so glad they told me this in my time of need, that it's okay to reach out to people when they have a time of need. And then I want you to ask yourself the question, what is my life like now? Use words of feeling to describe what your life is like now. What new opportunities do you have because of Young Living? Whatever you feel, put all those emotions into words. It's okay if you share a revealing story. It's okay if you share details about things that have happened in your life because of this, whether that is a personal physical thing, an emotional thing, a spiritual thing, whatever that is that has been brought to you because of Young Living. And when you wrap that all together, that is your story. So you should be able to tell your story in a quick 5 to 10 minutes, but you also can even have a detailed story where if you needed to do a 15 or 20 minute talk about your story, I know you could, because there is still so many things about, if I sat and told our entire story, it would take hours if I told all the details. So I think sometimes we discredit the power behind our words. Our words have so much power behind them. Harness that power and use power phrases. They're going to help you open doors, drop defenses, and allow your passion to shine through. So before I share those power phrases with you, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about all the times in your life that words have had impact. Okay, just one example I can give you is I was told my child would never speak. I would never hear her words. So imagine when she talks sentences now and she's chatty Cathy, and the first time we heard words from her, how powerful that was. How much power behind those words are. What about the words of when your spouse proposed to you or when you got married? What about the words that hurt you as you were growing up? Maybe you dealt with bullying in school, or maybe there was an instance words can hurt, they can heal, they can love. Words can do all of the things. So think about your words, think about them carefully, and really craft some statements for yourself that you want to carry on in this Young Living lifestyle, that you want people to really encapsulate those verses or those things with this journey. So I want to go through some power phrases with you that I want you to drill these in you. I want you to practice these. There's 4 phrases that I want you guys to practice and I want you guys to incorporate. Okay? It's all I know is, may or may not, if I will you, and that's the best thing about Young Living. So those 4 things can answer any question you get about Young Living. Any excuse that you hear can all be answered with these 4 phrases. So it takes some practice, but it's not super hard. So first I want to dive into all I know is. Okay, so this phrase allows you to share your experience without promising a specific result. So maybe somebody's like, well, I just don't know about the cost of the oils. Well, all I know is I have saved tons of money because I no longer buy XYZ products. I don't have to go up and down 20 aisles in Target anymore. I can miss that whole section of the store. I just really don't know, if they really made that big of a difference for me, and, my kids are sick all the time, and I just don't know if this is the thing that's really for them. All I know is I'm no longer missing days of work, if you're working, to stay home with sick kids. All I know is Mia was on 90 rounds of antibiotics right before oils, and we have not been on an antibiotic in 5 years since starting was. That's what I know. All I know is when I went to the dentist, he was really impressed with my teeth because of my Thieves toothpaste. And Mia actually just went to the dentist here recently, and they didn't even have to clean her teeth because they were so clean. She's 9 years old, guys. Use your Thieves toothpaste. So somebody's like, well, I just really don't know. Can these oils really help you at night? Well, all I know is lavender really helps me sleep. It really provides a calming sense for me. So I don't know if these products really can, I'm just so tired, and can they really do anything? Well, all I know is when I have a Zing and a Nitro at lunch, I'm recharged like the Energizer Bunny for the afternoon, and I can get all the things done that I need to do. So you can see, you can throw this phrase in many different ways, not just talking about products, but in business, all different things. So all I know is just sharing what you know without promising something at the end. Okay, so the next one, may or may not. This phrase helps you send the message that you don't know all the things, because we don't want to be somebody's encyclopedia, right? We also don't know what's best for each person. The one thing I love about Young Living is we have the freedom to choose. Right now we have over 700 products in the catalog, and we have all of these amazing resources and books. We have the freedom to choose what we want to try and what we want to incorporate into our families. So don't take that freedom away from people. Okay, you can share your knowledge with them and say, this may or may not work for you, but I've tried XYZ. So, this may or may not work for you, but I absolutely love putting frankincense on my skin at night. I'm going to turn 36. My wrinkles aren't that bad. I'm kind of loving what frankincense is doing. This may or may not work for you, but all I know is, so you can use both. This may or may not, but all I know is, this may or may not work for you, but Dreamcatcher and Orange at bedtime, all I know is I never want to be without it for my daughter, because that is like her unicorn sleep potion. She loves it. So you may or may not know I do this Young Living thing as a business, and I'm getting ready to launch a section of my business, and I would love for you to host a class for me. Did you know I do Young Living? You may or may not know about this thing called Essential Rewards. Can I share with you about it? You may or may not know about Young Living Go yet, YL Go yet. So do you see all the ways you can may or may not, and may or may not, all I know is together, okay? The next one is if I, will you, and there's all kinds of examples in these chapter in the book too, so I'm just touching the highlights of these, so be sure you read this chapter. So you never want to give something without the expectation of something back in return. You don't just want to give samples away and not have a way to contact them or follow up with them, right? So this if I will you concept is you're asking them to do something in return for something you're doing for them. So maybe you had somebody ask for a business card, and you can say, Yeah, sure, I've got one right here. But if I give you an extra, will you share it with a friend? Okay. Maybe there's a roller recipe that you love and there's somebody that you know that needs it. So you make them a little mini one and you say, hey, if I give you this roller, will you tell me what you think after you use it for 5 days? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll follow up with you next Tuesday to see what you think. So you're getting feedback this way. So maybe you have extra resources laying around, or maybe you're wanting to get somebody on Essential Rewards and you need them to get a little bit more education. You could say, hey, if I send you this book, will you tell me your biggest takeaway? And then schedule a time to follow up with them. How about if I would give you a $10 credit, would you invite 15 people personally to this class that we're having next Friday? You better believe I'm going to. Okay, so if I will you. So never just give without doing something in return. Okay, so the next one is my favorite one. That's the best thing about Young Living. Okay, I love this sentence. I use it all the time. So how many times have we heard at the beginning when people get their kids, but I don't want to do this as business. I don't want to sell oils. Guess what? That's the best thing about Young Living. You never have to. Well, I don't want to work 40 hours a week if I share about oils. That's the best thing about Young Living. You're your own CEO. You get to do this thing as you want. Make your own hours, do your own thing. You can make your own success. Well, I don't want to get plugged into like having to order monthly. That's the best thing about Young Living. You don't have to, but you will get rewarded if you decide to join Essential Rewards, and you get up to 25% back. So just so you'll know what that language is, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Well, I just don't know about sharing my story in front of people yet. And I think I need some support in that. Okay, well, all I know is that somebody needs to hear your story. And that's the best thing about Young Living. That's all we do is share stories, and I'm there to support you. I will be there with you. Okay, so these phrases have so much power behind them. I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I use these sentences, whether I'm talking to somebody through text, messenger, face-to-face, in classes. You know, they literally no excuse or question or anything you could throw at me right now that I could not turn one of these phrases into a response. So there's power behind having these 4 things embedded in your brain and ready to spit out in a moment's notice, and truly believe what you're saying behind it. No, don't just do it where it doesn't sound like you and it's completely uncomfortable. But if you start working these into your language and believe in and be passionate about what you're saying, they are going to be the most powerful things in your business to help you grow. So with that, we also have phrases that I don't ever want you to say. Okay, these are stop phrases. We don't want to say these things. Okay, and one of them we are all so guilty of. Okay, how many of you use the phrase, let me know? Let me know about if you can come. So the starter kit's on sale. Let me know if you want one. Okay, let me know is an open-ended way for people to just never follow back, answer your question, respond to you, or say no. That's how we get crickets. They will never come back and let you know. You have to be specific when you are asking people questions and talking to them about things. Give them 1 or 2 things to choose from. A yes or a no, a this date or that date. If you leave it too open-ended, you're really not going to get anywhere. So when it comes to the words, let me know, I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to say it. I don't want you to type it. I want you to delete it from your language, okay? Let me know does not exist in Young Living language. So take that out. The other thing is, I don't like to hear people say, I sell Young Living. Because to me, that's not what we sell. We sell a lifestyle We sell life-changing products. We sell so much more than just a product. To me, I sell sounds salesy and slimy. I'm not a used car salesman. I never will be. And to me, that's what that sounds like. So when you're thinking about, now if somebody says, do you sell Young Living? And you're standing in line, you could say, yes, I teach about natural health and wellness and through Young Living, yes. But I never just say, yes, I sell oils. Or yes, I share our story with others, and that's led to me building a business. So I never just say yes to those words, and you will never hear me say, I sell Young Living. What do you do for a job? I will never use the words, I sell Young Living. So those two phrases, let me know and I sell Young Living, are really powerless words. And we were talking earlier about the power of words. So just really think about tonight as you're crafting your story, and think about the words that have had impact in your life. You know, words can do so much in our emotions, in how we think about ourselves, in our confidence. So think about the words you speak. That's why we talk so much about speaking life. I really want you guys to dig into this chapter, into all those power phrases. There's lots of examples in there. It's a really meaty chapter with a lot of information in it. Now, tomorrow we're actually going to talk all about the power of social media and dig into what social media entrepreneurial tools you have in your toolbox. So I hope you guys will join us tomorrow for that. That's going to be a fun night to talk about all things social media. So we will see you tomorrow.